Hi everyone, Caleb Widdergast here with Rhyme Signatures, the nerdiest music review this side of the lavish chateau on the 23rd of Sidenstar. Today we're going to be doing a review of the new Rolo Tomassi album, When Myth Becomes Memory. Sheffield-based post-hardcore act Rolo Tomassi are coming to us now with their 6th studio album, in what has been, well, for me at least, an agonising wait since their last record in 2018, Time Will Die and Love Will Bury It. Agonising as that album was hands down my favourite discovery of that year, and I have been absolutely gagging for more from this band. The template that they laid down with Time Will Die was honestly stunning, and it really indicated to me that Rolo Tomassi were a band to pay attention to, as their sound, style, and identity was really flourishing into something that truly defines who they are. Their preceding records were still very, very good, but they didn't quite resonate with me on the level that Time Will Die did. The first 3 albums are still extremely good listens, but it was only really with the footsteps taken by their 4th album, Grievances, that the band started to realise how to stand out from the crowd. And if Time Will Die was the Notice Me Senpai album, then Myth is most assuredly their Now That I Have Your Attention album. The record kicks off fantastically with Almost Always, with this long, oppressive, dirty guitar tone before Ava Corman's world-class vocals cut across, with a hauntingly beautiful voice piercing through the murk of the instrumentation, a trend that will continue as the album goes on. Corman is absolutely the standout performer on this album, so a contrast between the angelic cleans and the banshee screams really set her aside from her contemporaries in ways that kind of really demand your attention as a listener. There's sort of a post-metal vibe from the guitars on the opening track as it moves on, giving it a little bit of a Death Heaven vibe here and there, but kind of molasses-like and just thick, really thick. Things fade back, and Ava once again takes front and centre as these delicate, warm piano notes fill the air, and just her unspeakably brilliant vocals just lift the track up again as she asks, "Are you listening to your heart? What happens when it stops? Are you waiting for a sign, a goodbye? What do you do when you're lost?" It's paralysing and an incredible way to start the album. The guitars then smash and the drums come in like a tidal wave, serving as just this incredible contrast to the lyrics and vocal delivery. This wall of sound as the track crescendos is genuinely heart-stopping. But things don't hold still for a second on Myth. We launch into the lead pre-release single, Cloaked. It's short, punchy, and it delivers exactly what this band is trying to say with this album. This is Rolo Tomassi in their purest, most straightforward form. Big, heavy, aggressive riffing with a really Moorish hook to draw you in, and gives us our first taste of just how terrifying Corman can be as she screeches out these evil-sounding lines. It is sometimes hard to believe this is the same person singing as on Almost Always, but she effortlessly switches between this fury and rage and calm serenity. The drumming is frenetic, deep, full, and carries on the track in a really exciting rhythm with a little bit of hints of some electronic music hiding under the chaos with some very tasteful keyboards. Mutual Ruin and Labyrinthine follow up with just another explosive vocal performance as Corman just keeps getting better, nastier, more aggressive and more threatening. The guitar tone on the album is dripping with a confident presence and really accentuates the grimy, filthy atmosphere throughout. The heavy, sludgy bass riff that kicks off Labyrinthine is excellent, and the driving guitar riff feels purpose-made to make people crab walk in a mosh pit, and it's brilliant. By this point on the album, we are starting to see there is a definite formula at work here, with the music going from dark to light to dark to light to dark to light. But it works so well. It's kind of like swimming in freezing waters with your head under the waves for as long as you can manage before coming up for a desperate breath of air. It's exhilarating and it's uncomfortable, but in the best possible way. It can be seen as perhaps a little bit derivative, though, by the time the album is finished, because it does sort of go from this formula throughout, really. However, Rolo Tomassi have crafted an album that's extremely well paced, as the chilled-out ballad of the album, Closer, cuts in at just the right point to provide a necessary break in pace that's perfectly placed after the absolute head rush of the last 3 tracks. This is the closest the band has ever sounded to a pop song, kind of. and it wouldn't be completely out of place on mainstream radio. It's chill, upbeat, but with a hint of sadness in Ava's vocals as she wraps this warm blanket around you after the manic ferocity of the tracks leading up to this. It's only a brief reprieve though, as Drip carries on the album, starting up with a simple, repetitive drum beat, kind of assumed to be the titular Drip, maybe, or perhaps I'm reading too much into things, but it sets things up to make it clear that this song is not going to be nice to you. You've had your palate cleanser, now it's back under the icy water you go. Drip is savage. Rolo Tomassi are not afraid to grab you by the ears, shake you around a bit until your teeth rattle in your skull. The drum work on this track is especially good, and after the extended intro, like a blast from a cannon, the song explodes with a barely contained rage. This is a song that really shows off just how much better this album gets as it goes on. Keys on the bridge here are gorgeous, they have this great ethereal quality to match the mood of the break and the violence, before things close with the song aggressively assaulting your ears. We segue nicely into Prescience, which for me is one of the best songs on the album. It's a huge sound with some really manic guitar work, but it's, for me, the melancholic keyboards underneath the chorus of the song that really sell this for me. There's this background of sadness with glimmers of hope as Ava screams across the music. There's a little post-rock bridge as well that leans into that sound that was kind of flirted with a bit earlier in the album, and it's honestly absolutely gorgeous. It's got this great Alcest vibe to it, which I really, really dig. Once again, Rolo Tomassi show themselves, though, as the masters of pacing, as Stumbling gives us another breather before the climax. Myth, as an album, is exhausting in the most positive way possible. It's like a good physical workout. It's punishing, but the rewards for sticking with it are so, so strong. And this Stumbling has this curious, sort of haunted music box feel to it, kind of like something out of a Guillermo del Toro film. This unnerving atmosphere, it's oddly charming, really, and beautiful, but it gives you a good chance to recover before dunking your head under one last time. Final stretch starts us off with To Resist Forgetting, which is a real launch roller coaster of a song. And just as you thought you've relaxed from the previous track, the band whisks out that carpet from underneath you immediately, before switching just as swiftly to a much more delicate sound. It's kind of like being slapped hard across the cheek before the other one's kissed better. Rolo Tomassi fully demonstrate their refined sound they've clearly been practicing on their previous album here, and it is glorious to witness. The only really sort of odd choice here is that they've ended the penultimate track on a bit of a fade out, which is something I don't really like on the best of days, but to follow it up with the finale after a fade out is a little bit odd to me, but whatever, it's a minor blemish. This brings us actually to the last track of End of Eternity, which is a fabulous, beautiful and haunting end to the album. They know they've just put you through a ringer over the last 40 minutes, so they've decided, you know what, let's have a nice hot cup of cocoa by the fireplace just to close things off a bit. It's warming, gentle, and a song that feels like the band are standing tall and telling the listener, this is who we are, we know what we're here to do, and we'd like you to stay with us. I can confidently say that if this is Rolo Tomassi's statement record, then honestly what a statement to have made. Genuinely brilliant in almost every way, and one of the most unabashed, confident sounding albums I've heard in a long, long time. Do not miss this one. This is all, of course, my opinion, as you know, so tell me what you thought of this record in the comments below. If you have anything you've listened to this year that you think I should check out, then let me know and I might get around to giving it my own thoughts. If you like this video, please do share it with anyone who you think might enjoy it, and please do consider subscribing for more content. Until next time, keep your rhyme signatures odd.